Just posting a little bit of an update here. I have a new job now, so I've been doing that and other things. I've been going to the gym again rather than walking the dog and stuff. Burn a little more calories, can be a little faster, stuff like that. So I feel like I'll be losing weight in the next month or two, over time, just a little bit. I don't need to lose a ton. I don't really even need to lose any, but yeah. And yeah, the new job. It's funny. I was hearing airport in my head for months before I got this job, and that's where I'm working now. So it's cool. I met a Christian guy there. Like the first thing he says is that a piece of jewelry, or do you follow the Lord Jesus Christ? I'm like, I think I'm gonna like this guy. So yeah, we had some cool talks. Like he was talking about how he was not married until he turned 48. I think he said 48, and he said he was like trying to say, oh, I don't need a wife, that whole thing. And over time he realized, after repenting and stuff, I guess I do need a wife, like, and then he said he went to like his normal, well, he went to a slightly different prayer place. He watched the sunrise, and he had a Bible with him, and he saw a whole bunch of people like happy, smiling, and he's like, they have to be Christians. So then he like put his Bible out, and I guess they eventually invited him over. But he said he had an open eye visual, and he like kind of saw the face of his wife, and I think he met her that day, if I was understanding him correctly. So that was interesting. And he said he also had a visual of like a woman drawing like water from the well, and then feeding it to the camels, right? I think it was camels, something like that. And it was like, oh, like Rebecca. He's like, yeah. It's like, it's funny. I keep hearing about that story and stuff, because I know it relates to my story too, where it will. And so, yeah, it was, me and him were talking a bit, and I'm making friends with the people that I'm training with too. None of them seem to be Christians, but I could get along with people pretty good until the more heavy things come up. Then that's usually when the clashes happen. But yeah, surface level, I can get along with people. It's just when you get to the nitty gritty of it, that's when people start to dislike me. Yeah. Just doing all sorts of like training videos and stuff, and boring so far, but it's gonna be like a lot of work the next 2 weeks for training, like more than I would normally be working just for training. So yeah, got that going on. It's pretty cool. Got some good benefits, stuff like that for the job. The main point, sort of for me, well, one of the main points, because I'm not supposed to go there. Yeah, I'm just trying to get better with guitar in my spare time. I'm working on the song Kryptonite by Three Doors Down. I'm working on 3 songs by Three Doors Down. I like them because their music it's challenging enough, but it's not like mind-bendingly hard like some of these rock groups are. It's like you could play it. It's, you have to slow it down at first when you're learning it, but you could play it. Some of the other stuff gets a little too complicated for me right now. I'm only like 6 months in, but I like this. I like Three Doors Down. I can sing to his voice too. He doesn't have a crazy high voice. It's not low, but it's not crazy high. And so I can actually sing to it too. Singing while playing at the same time though, usually I can only do one or the other well. So still working on that. Other than that, just got my cat right here. This is Rem. she's being needy right now. Ram is over there. I started watching some Inuyasha, although for some reason the subtitles stopped working on Amazon Prime, so I'm like, well, I can't understand what they're saying, and it's like, well, you have to pay for the English, or that's why, or maybe I'll have to sign in on Netflix, but I don't have a Netflix. You know, my parents might have one, but I don't have one. So yeah, I don't know what I'll do for that, but it's interesting. Yeah, doing that. I've been learning Japanese on Duolingo, which, you know, I've learned it before a bit, so some of the words are coming back. But yeah, with this job, I could go there someday. I plan on going there someday, and it'd be basically free to fly there. Just you have to pay for taxes. Yeah, I'd like to go there someday. Be cool to visit. Yeah. Maybe I'll get back on VR chat sometime. Try to share the gospel with people. You know, if I get a day off or something, I'll do some evangelism like I used to do on VR chat. That can be fun. Post some videos here, so how that goes. It's very hard because VR chat is like a very toxic environment, and nobody wants to hear about God. Very few people, at least. And what else was I thinking about? I don't know. There was more. There was something else. I don't remember though. Yeah. Dreams. Yeah. Oh yeah. And I quit coffee and my sleeping meds, and I'm still off of all that stuff. The withdrawal is mostly over for the caffeine. The headaches basically went away for the most part. Day 9. Day 8, they were still present, but I could stop taking pain like meds like aspirin and Tylenol. And I keep having these dreams that are not good, and I don't like the dreams. It's very bad. I realize even at my best, my moral best, I am failing morally in my dreams miserably. And so that tells me, yeah, there's just something deeply wrong with me. And I need a wife, desperately. Well, I'll say, yeah, I've been praying to God desperately for my wife to come. And that's been very difficult. Been seeing lots of videos about like lonely people. You know, there's some Japanese guy in his 50s, he's all alone in his apartment, and it's like, wow, kind of sad, you know. He seems like a cool guy. I'd hang out with him, you know. Yeah, it's not fun being alone for several years because you're following Jesus. When that's the reason that you're alone, you should celebrate though, because you're doing what God wants you to do, and that's why you're alone. That's the truth. That's just the truth of it. That's why you're alone. If a lot of times that is the reason, because if you're like morally depraved or whatever, you could find other morally depraved people and hang out and do all that stuff and date. It's easy. But when you're not, when you're following Jesus, it is so hard. And especially when he's got you in a checkmate situation, you just have to wait because you already know who it is, and they're not following him. It's just very painful, very hard, and then they insult you on your social media, you know, TikTok, YouTube, since I don't use other social media, and they basically stalk you while claiming that you're stalking them. Yeah, that's basically where I'm at, dealing with pain, rejection, and stuff, and praying for God to change it finally.